I've always grown up in a Christian home. I've gone to church ever since I was little, VBS, church camp, everything. Whenever I was younger, my brother and all of his friends all decided to start walking the aisle, and not understanding what I was doing, I followed so I wouldn't get left behind. I moved schools my 5th grade year, and that's whenever the boys started realizing the girls and the girls started realizing the boys. My friends all were dating, but nobody really dated me because I was the big girl, the funny big girl that everybody liked to laugh, but nobody liked to like. I moved back my 8th grade year, and all of a sudden I got tons of attention from guys, junior high guys and a couple of high school guys. I formed a relationship with one of these high school guys, a very questionable high school guy who I knew was bad and I've been raised to keep away from, but I did it anyways. I began making questionable decisions, questionable friends, saying questionable things, and through a series of events, I had God's gift taken from me. I felt disgusting, betrayed, nasty, and I felt worthless. And people began telling me that's what I was. I fell into this deep hole of depression, and I let my body become an object. Parents later found out what they thought had happened. They were ashamed of me. They had raised me better and I had known better, but I put myself in circumstances that I shouldn't have ever been in. I went to school and girls were mean. Girls were so mean to me. I would get called a slut and a whore. And in the locker room, girls would throw shoes at me and yell this guy's names at me and tell me I was worthless, and I started to believe them. Suicide became this bitter, sweet craving. I wanted everything to be over. And one of my last pushes before I was going to end it, I went to my youth pastor's wife. We cried together, we laughed together, and we prayed together. And one night, she prayed with me that God would find me friends because nobody wanted to be my friend. And not too long later, these two people that I've grown up my whole life with, that were in my youth group, all of a sudden became my best friends. And they helped me a lot. And I thought everything was over because everything was dying down, but something still wasn't happening. I felt like something was still wrong. A few months later, our church has a girls' night out. Our group leader asked me if I knew where I was going when I died. If I was to die right now, where would I go? And I knew the answer. I've told a million people the answers, but I really didn't know. I went to the back of the church and I cried, and I cried. And I went and got my mom and my youth pastor's wife. And in the back room of my church, I asked God to forgive me for my sins, and I accepted Christ as my Savior. I felt free, like everything was finally over. A couple years later, I had a friend that I told everything to, what really had happened, and he told me I should tell my mom. And I told my mom, I told my dad, and everything is finally over. I've forgiven myself because I know God has forgiven me. I still deal with anxiety, sometimes wake up having anxiety attacks and freak out, and it's crazy, but God helped me through everything. Helped me whenever no one else wanted to. He sent my youth pastor into my life. He sent my youth pastor's wife into my life. And he sent me here to help someone else. My name is Katelyn Owens, and this is my journey.